It is hashtag MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide coming through to you live on Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. Top of the hour. We are going to be joined by 947. Looking forward to the return of the room dividers. So if you don't know the room dividers, I can tell you very simply, it is those chaps. Full stop. If you know rugby, understand rugby, it is those chaps. So they're going to be coming through at exactly the top of the hour. So make sure that you're part of the contributors, he who and she who listens to the show. Also give us your thoughts and impressions of what has been the Springbok journey as far as the Rugby World Cup is concerned. A big thanks there to the Drive Time Show on Vuma FM, Locomotion, Slee, Big Mike. Thank you for driving us home and allow us to drive you home right now. Wandile Mazibugo on Rise FM on 943. All to do with the business world today, analysis and more. Thank you so much. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Hashtag MSW Sowetan Live also joins us right now in studio. In a couple of seconds, we're going to be chatting to Coach Ernest Middendorp, who's right here in studio, having just arrived from Tanzania.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Well, tell you what, the city of Tshwane, as well as the entire South Africa, is at the moment buzzing with excitement as it gears up for it's a spectacle. It's going to be hosting the World Rowing Masters Regatta, where Roodepoort Dam will meet the rowers with the world's most competitive waters. Rowing SA President Sean, good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. You know what grabbed my attention? The Masters Regatta. I saw a 90-year-old who will be participating. How is that humanly possible?
At the Masters level, that's exactly that. You know, Masters start at age 27. That's your A category, and they run all the way through to M, which is your over 85, and then we stop counting. An athlete from the USA who's 95 competing this week. Our oldest female competitor is 84. She's from Australia, and our very own South African is 93.
There's no medical shock that's expected to happen, but I mean,
we got a plan for that as well, right?
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Sports news, fresh and relevant.
Yeah, you might call it fresh and relevant and a top story. I tell you, it's a breaking story within the African continent there. And, you know, just before coming on air, we were getting messages that are coming through from Tanzania. They were asking us if we have had sight of a coach by the name of Ernest Middendorp, and we said we don't know. I mean, we don't handle his business. We have absolutely no clue about his whereabouts. But we can tell you that he has touched down in South Africa. The German-born coach resigning from his position as the head coach of the Tanzanian Premier League side, Singida Fountain Gate, just 2 weeks after being appointed in that position. It's said to have left the team hotel. When was it? Yesterday. There was talk of interference. So I don't want to put words in his mouth because, you know what, he's right here in studio. And his decision coming on the back of a narrow 1-0 win this past Sunday. And a club source has since revealed that the disagreement between Middendorp as well as the management of the team was over the questionable team selection. So let's get straight into this issue, into this topic here, because we don't want to waste any time. Coach Middendorp, thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
You're meant to be in Tanzania, as far as I'm concerned. But here you are in South Africa. Why such an early return?
Yeah, no, that's good. It's reasons for it. That I came back last night jumping into Joburg at 6:15 this morning. And it was quite a hectic past 48 hours. Winning a game on the CAF qualification on Sunday against a very strong team from Cairo, Future FC. I think everybody knows the Egyptian league has a good standard, a very good standard. I think on the top 2 or 3 all the time on the continent. And to win a game, not conceding a goal, being on the way, of course, to qualify probably for the group stage. That was a target or is a target still. And then it took a very interesting, strange turn on Monday morning. I was thinking, okay, there are some words of praise, some words of agreements. A meeting was called in on Monday morning at 10 o'clock, but it was a total different topic, where in the end of the day I said, okay, good, let's leave it. Thank you. Excuse myself from the meeting and excuse myself with immediate effect from the working relationship. trip. That happened on Monday around lunchtime. I packed my bags and organized my flight with Airlink straight away to Joburg some hours later, and now I'm here.
Why did you leave the meeting?
It was, I do it now 30 years. It was an unbelievable statement. Unfortunately, I didn't record it. That is what, it was unfortunately not possible, or I forgot about it because I didn't expect. But it was an unbelievable statement of a Minister of Finance, who is a boss of this Singida Fountain Gate football club. And I had to listen for 35 minutes, despite a fantastic win, despite a fantastic game we played for a big crowd. That the selection, that everything in this moment around the game was absolutely not satisfying out of his position. And he made the impression that the details of the game is in his muscle memories, despite he's a finance minister. It was too much. I had once in the past, and I continued the chairman here in South Africa, a similar situation when I asked for reason, when I asked for whatever, but here was not even a discussion. It was a clear statement without asking for reasons, without asking for circumstances, why this one played and this one was not in the squad and this one was playing on a different position, because I wanted to have the result. That was the only target what I was working with my team, Thabo, Moses and Kelvin, the entire 2 weeks and 2 days. And I think how we found the team, it was irritating. There was no cohesion. There was no. It was a bunch of individuals, and how we brought them together, the 29 players, to achieve the result in the end of the day on Sunday, was an impressive work done by the entire technical team. And I thought there should be only a compliment and not something egoistic, selfish direction coming out of a mouth of an owner or president, so on. I had it, as I said, in Bloemfontein. There was a chairman called Max Shabalala, and we had a discussion about some statements, some wishes or whatever. And I asked him, please, let's discuss the reasons for it. And his answer was, because I say so. I continued at that time, but after 2-3 months, of course, it didn't go. It didn't work. And I never forget this. And it was a similar situation. And I promised myself in 2014, if this ever comes again out of a mouth of a chairman, of an owner, it doesn't matter how big he is. He can be the minister in this case, even. I don't, and there was no chance for me, because I was not asked to talk about why this and the circumstances about it. I think actually I'm in a comfortable situation. I'm confident. I'm having the qualification about it. I know what I'm doing. And in this moment, if somebody tells me that he has everything different, okay, then I had not the whistle, but I should have given the whistle, and he should do the coaching.
Sure. But it sounds to me, Coach, that everything that you've said now, it sounds to me like there was interference, because there's a player that they mentioned, Kadil Michael, who they say hasn't played for something like 2 seasons. And according to them, as the owners, he was supposed to be a player that should have played in the game over the weekend. Would you say it's interference in terms of your work?
Oh, there are a lot of Hadibu, Yusuf. There were a lot of players swollen-headed. We met them in this direction. Let me call it. They play golf on a soccer field. They turn around with 3-4 touches. The transition was not effective, and we had to stop this. Otherwise, you have no chance. In the midfield, you have to win 1 versus 1 duels. Otherwise, you have no chance. And the soccer, in particular, if you play a team from Egypt, Egypt or from Morocco or Algeria. This doesn't matter, but you need a certain clear strategy and not dancing around. And of course, there was a lot of names in the future where I normally was more than less instructed by this statement to play all these players and to take all the other players out. And I think actually now you have to ask why we were able to have a cohesive unit in the end on the field on Sunday, just because everybody was respected, everybody got the right attention, the same attention, and not because somebody is loved by a chairman, loved by an owner, loved by a history. That's not the case. With this, you cannot make a team working together, communicating together, and have a certain culture together to win games, to qualify for the international business on a group stage. And it was absolutely irritating, and that was consequently then my reaction to say, okay, that's I'm not the right man.
All right. When you talk about you not being the right man, just two things I want to clarify with you. Did they give you a call at halftime? Did you get a call from management at halftime? And did you issue a letter of resignation?
No. There was no call from halftime. Then I would probably have left already in halftime when I would have been forced to it. No, there was no call in halftime, not at all. We had a very clear understanding what we wanted to do in this and in this match. There were a lot of players coming back from the national teams, from Togo, from Tanzania, from Kenya. Players we have seen only for 3 days. We gave them the benefit really to put them in place. For example, Marouf, the player from Togo, good player, but I could see already in these 2-3 days that he will not last for 90 minutes. He was tired, he was not in a way, and we discussed it with Thabo and with the technical team to say, okay, probably here we have to look at it, probably 45 minutes, then we have to change. Made a very clear plan. That is why I said it was surprising, the outcome of the Monday meeting. I didn't expect it, not at all. I thought we get a productive support, and good. Anyway, that's as I said, I can only repeat this.
Back to the question about resignation letter. Did you submit one to the team?
No.
Not?
No. Everybody was there. The president was there. The chairman, the owner was there. The 2 vice presidents were there. The technical director was there. The entire technical team was around. Therefore, in this moment, I made it very clear. It's a excuse from the meeting, and it's excuse from my working relationship. It's not about the money. I don't need in this moment to ask for it. That's probably my advantage. They should keep it. They should look for a certain direction. They had certain ideas they want to fulfill, they want to provide it and implement it. It's fine, and if you realize it will not work, it's not, and I cannot work under such circumstances where I realize, I have to realize there are other ideas and other circumstances in the background. It's not really clear. Probably a lot of coaches do this, a lot of coaches can do this, a lot of coaches close their eyes and run through with a helmet, but it will not work. You are not able to do your job. And you ask me, have I seen the beach in Zanzibar or the beach in Dar es Salaam? I haven't, because if I go into a project, then I go 100% into it, thinking around the clock about the options, thinking about the possibilities, how we get it right. We had only 2 weeks and 2 days time before the very important home game had to be structured and had to be planned. And that is absolutely something where I think actually it should be appreciated.
All right. For sake of balance, Coach, what we decided to do is ask from the other side, from the club's perspective, what it is that they know about your whereabouts. So we did reach out, though. We got hold of Hussein Masanza. I don't know if you had met the gentleman. He is Singida Club spokesperson. And we asked him if you are still with the team. This was the response.
Yes, we have seen news circulating showing the statement which is claimed to be coming from our coach, Mr. Ernest Medendorp. But as a club, we have not received official statement from him on his resignation. So we are not taking it as an official document because it has not come to our club. And if it is true that he is the one who has been circulating that information. We are surprised because as a professional, we are expecting him to communicate with the club because he's still the head coach of our club, and we know that he's in South Africa, so probably he can send the email or any official communication, and the club will act upon it. So for now, we have nothing to comment on that because it is not an official communication, and we reserve our comment for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I was just saying that. Well, firstly, just your comment. You've heard it.
Yeah, listen. In this game inside the soccer industry, and that's obviously necessary. Meanwhile, but there are lawyers, there are agents involved, and immediately Rashdom Simons was in contact with the CEO from the club to make it very clear. In addition to my statement when I left the meeting, so in this moment, I don't know what you need more. And if there are questions in this direction, whatever, I don't take care. For me, it's not about what other people thinking. I want to work. I like this work as a coach. I know what I'm doing. I know actually, and this turnaround of a team without any spirit, without any life into it. And I got surprisingly a lot of messages from the players' side in the team, how upsetting it is not to have me around anymore. And this is an appreciation I'm proud of.
What happened to the 3 coaches you took along with you?
They have different departments. Goalkeeper coach Moses, Kelvin in terms of the conditioning side, and Thabo Sinong being in charge for certain areas in the assistant coach, the technical team. It's separate. It's not as a bunch of where I get paid and so on. They have contracts with the team. They have to decide themselves to stay, to continue, to get appreciated, to be finally in a position, and I think they can, because in this moment they get not attached in their decision making. They are contributing in different areas, and has nothing to do with decision making. In my case, I obviously would have been told in future, okay, not this goalkeeper, you play the other one, not this defender, you play the other one, not these 2 midfielders, you play the other 2 one with the name Yusuf and Chuku, and in the front, okay, not Rupia, you play Hadibu, and you play another one. So this is something I see it coming, and I said, this is not for me. If you have these ideas, and then do it. On the other side, I was there for 4 days, and I made it very clear in this discussion. I had only on Wednesday, on the 30th of August, a short meeting in the morning at 6:30 with the Minister of Finance, who had this statement on Monday morning. I made it very clear. I'm in certain moments stubborn. I'm in certain moments stick to it what I see on the training ground, and I think that's my part. A minister, an owner, a chairman, a management, they are not on the training ground. They don't see the players working. They don't see the players handling moments of the games in the morning, in the afternoon. Very often we train twice. In this moment, they have no idea which player is really prepared to go into a game like this from this magnitude as we had it on Sunday.
Sure. I think the perception that comes through, maybe let me take this WhatsApp voice note that's just come through, just about your experiences as far as coaching, especially on the African continent.
Hi, Robert. Yeah, this is Odysseus here. Well, I understand you've got Coach Ernest Middendorp in the studio today, and we hear that he has resigned from his new job at Singida Football Club in Tanzania. I've got friends in Tanzania, Rob, who are working there, and they've told me how professional this club is being run. They're the beacon of Tanzanian football at the present moment. As we all know, that Tanzanian football is really growing in leaps and bounds, and it's been shocking after how many months? 2 months, and he's leaving his job. There's a question which I want to ask Rob. We know that Ernest Middendorp is highly esteemed, a very great coach. You're looking at the clubs which he has coached in Germany and here in South Africa. He's a good tactician, but is he finding it difficult to coach here in Africa? Because in South Africa, it's like the same script, different movie, same script, whereby he leaves a job and the higher echelons of that football club where he will be coaching, they interfere with his job. Is it going to be very difficult for him to coach a team in Africa, because the same things keep on happening? It's like a broken record keeping on repeating itself. Thank you so much, Rob.
Hey, Audacious, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, I think to answer straight, I think we have to change as coaches. We have to change as coaches. In Europe, it's not at all. It doesn't mean in which league you are, Bundesliga 1, 2, 3, or even in another league below. The coach is the most important man. The coach is the most important man who has to handle it, who has to make the decision, who sees the players on the field. Of course, he is prepared. He should be prepared. I'm prepared at any time. We can discuss 24 hours. At any time, you can call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, ask as a president, as a management for a discussion. I will be there in 20 minutes. It's not a problem for me at all. And we discuss, and I give you the reason. I give you a detailed information about why certain players are not involved and so on. And unfortunately, this doesn't happen here. We are in Africa on a different vibe. Coaches are very often puppies. Coaches are very often listen to certain circumstances, and even players confirmed it. Some players from Singida Fountain Gate Football Club confirmed it in a way to say, hey, that's exactly what happened in the past, and that's why, for example, I'm thinking about to leave this club. Sorry, I was not influencing anybody from the player side, but I think we should really think about, probably I live it to the extension to say, okay, give the coach really the statement or the status he deserved, to work free, to work not with fear, to work with confidence, to work with qualification, to work really in a way to make the decision out of the training sessions he has seen it consequently, and that's how I see it in the moment. Probably currently we have probably 1 or 2 clubs here in South Africa where something like this happened. I think everybody knows which clubs I'm talking about. The rest, there's always wishes and always interest and always discussions about. So now we have to decide, do I want it as a coach, or do I want to have a different script to produce? There is no different script. There is a 11 against 11. There is a field size. There are 2 goalposts. There are rules and regulation under the FIFA. So, and if you want to grow, if you want to really have it into the right direction, to give the technical team, the coach, a clear direction, then you have to do it like it is done at Sundowns into the direction of Rolani, or as it is done in Supersport into the direction of Kevin Hunt, and there you see something will come out.
Talk about that. I mean, it's been 2 short stints. You've had one in Germany and now one here in Tanzania. Has
no. You should also take Solas. 19th of December till the 9th of March. Do you not think, are you really not thinking about that there are not reasons for it? Really to say why after the game we lost 4-1 on Friday evening in the beginning of March against Orlando Pirates, that there are not reasons for it. It's nice if a chairman mocks on Twitter other people, is nice, but there are reasons for it, and consequently here are very clear reasons for it. Why I said, okay, we spoke about in December, it happens again. It's now your problem, you see my back. That's simple, easy what it is. The move to Germany was absolutely an emotional move from my side. It's my hometown, it's my home area. I tried to rescue. It was unfortunately 2 games more, and we would have done it. We would have stayed in the league, despite it was unbelievable. Impossible normally, but I took this challenge. I stayed, and I didn't sign for a year. It's absolutely nonsense. I signed maximum till December, because there were 2.5 players signed with the beginning of the preseason on the beginning of June. And I said, okay, good. I have contacts, I have a network, I know what I'm doing. I took the technical director position and the head coach position. I worked my ass off around the clock. I brought a player from Freiburg, Bundesliga club, from second Bundesliga clubs as a compensation models, young players, players with handicaps, but I believe they will move on. And as it looks in the moment, it's a very clear direction. The young team is going and developing themselves, and it was very clear. It was very clear for each and everybody around. It will not last for any time. And the coach now, to give you even a further detail, who is now in charge, for example, in Meppen, where I was I more selected the coach myself. I met him during the preseason. I met him, invited him to our first game and so on. I informed him about certain developments and so on, knowing that he probably will be the one who takes over in a short time.
Crazy stuff. I think the WhatsApp voice notes, Coach, keep piling up. We got less than 3 minutes left.
Hi, Rob and Coach Ernst. Coach, I just want to compliment you for a bold, decisive action that you've taken because for me, coaching is one of the most disrespected profession where people who have no clue, who have not even entered the level of tutelage and knowledge that you guys have acquired in the game, believe that they've got an opinion. And when the results are not forthcoming, you guys take the fall for some of the decisions that you were not entirely in control of. And I just hope that this decision will also send a strong message to other club chairmen that you cannot undermine a coach that you've appointed. Wishing you all the best. Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you very much indeed. Saying that the most disrespected profession right now is coaching.
It is.
You would agree with that.
Absolutely.
But because I've got 2 minutes left, Coach, just a quick one. Tebogo, thank you very much indeed for that contribution. No one can disagree with that notion. So you here in South Africa, you know, the speculation already out there. Where's Anakuja landing next? I mean, are you taking a flight now? I know that the engine is still warm. Are you taking a flight down to Cape Town?
No, not at all. I wish that Sean Bartlett, I'm in contact, communicating with him, that he will turn it around in this next game, make the point, and I'm very confident that he will make it. And I know Alexis and so on, they have a very clear understanding doing it together, and I think they're on the right track.
All right, so both Cape Town Spurs and Cape Town City, no offers, no nothing.
No, Cape Town City have proven it. They had a terrible beginning of the season last year and ended up the year before in the same way. It's absolutely nonsense. Leave these two coaches alone. They do cooperating with the chairman, with the owner in a proper way, and I think that's how it works.
And how soon do you want to get back into coaching?
I like coaching. Probably I go and whatever, wherever, it doesn't mean, but I'm in a fantastic position. I don't need to run and to back and going to my knees for coaching. That's it.
All right, I'm going to take you back, Coach, as we say goodbye to you. And a reminder of exactly your words the last time something similar happened.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And Mazoeaini is on the line.
It was my experience being 28 years that I'm shaking because there's some rumors and whatever. It's all bullshit. All this of 3 games, and if you don't pick up points, then you're losing your job. In my age, after 28 years in a professional song, believe me, it's not about losing a job anymore. I can sit down for the next 50 years of my life, and that's it. I'm too experienced and too grown up to listen to this
Marawa Sports Worldwide. Monday to Friday weekdays.
Saying that I can sit down for the next 50 years. I don't have to sit down and listen to all of this. Coach Anakuja, thank you so much, man. Thank you very, very much for popping in. We will try and summarize that. We'll put it up on social media platforms. The conversation that we've just had, fresh from it happening, landing here in Johannesburg and into studio. We do appreciate that. Top of the hour now. It is time for news. Andy Somkunu standing by at Vuma FM, Karabompulu Gang and Rise FM. Catch us with the Rome Dividers after the news.